All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the training. For those of you that stayed on, thank you. I'm going to do my best to make it well worth your time. The first thing I want to talk about briefly is this Project 10,000 idea. Brett Coffey put this together for us, and I think it's ingenious. If I was a distributor right now, I can guarantee you what I would be doing is getting this information out to as many people as I possibly could, teaching them to do the same thing and building as big of a group as I possibly can before 12/12, so that I can start off and literally pretty much have my entire business built. And from that time on, just manage, make sure that they understand the 5 steps that we're going to go through, and really live the life that you're doing this business for. Have the time in order to, spend with your kids or your loved ones, or on your hobbies or whatever it is that you're looking to do. I've seen this happen in my career probably 5 or 6 times where somebody was able to build their entire business during pre-launch and start off with a 50 to 100,000 plus monthly check and grow it from there. So what I'm going to show you here is this Project 10,000. The goal is to get 10,000 people as a team entered in for free. Starting off by getting 10 yourself, that's your first 10. Help them get 10 each, that's 100 more. Those 100 get 10, that's 1,000 more. Those 1,000 get 10, that's 10,000 more. That's a total team. And I love these numbers. Again, we launched the company on 11/11. The company that we've partnered with, its ninth anniversary was 11/11. And these numbers just happen to be 11/11/0. So 11,110 people in your organization, of which you brought 10 for free. That can easily happen in 1 or 2 days. If you get this information to everybody you know, there's a good chance you're going to get 10 or more. They do the same thing. This entire thing could take 4 days, 5 days, meaning if it took me one day to get 10 and takes them one day, in 4 days, I have this team. If it took me 2 days, then again, in 8 days, I have this team. If it took me 5 days, then in 20 days, I have this team. We have a little bit less than 30 days before launch. So the goal would be to get those 10 people, I would say, in no more than 5 days. There's no reason it should take more than 5 days, and then help them do the same thing. We have recordings of calls like we just did before. We're doing a live opportunity at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, up until Black Friday, or excuse me, up until the day before Thanksgiving, so Wednesday the 26th. And then after December 1st, we'll announce the call schedule and what we'll be doing between December 1st and going up to December 12th when we kick this thing off. So I've personally seen people just during pre-launch build a team where people come in for free, and their very first check be over 100,000. If you reached these numbers, your first check would be well over 100,000, probably closer to $150,000 that you would be making monthly. It's going to be putting you getting pretty close to the $2 million per year range. Now, again, is it possible 100%? Is it likely? Really just depends on the decision that you make. You're the only one that can decide if you do this, and how hard you try. What I'm going to go over about the next 20 minutes, I'm going to go through it a little bit faster tonight, because we're putting all the videos, all the PDFs. It literally is going to be copy and paste, but I want you to have the basic idea of this system once we launch the company. There's 5 steps to success, and it's all built around 2 things: duplication and retention. It was actually in 1995. I'd been in network marketing for 3 years, really struggling. Every other month, I was deciding if I was going to quit or not. I couldn't really afford the auto ships. I wasn't making money consistently, and it was just kind of a burden. I was burnt out. I was tired of talking to people and constantly hearing the same thing and having the same questions, or getting somebody that joins and they're super excited and they don't do anything. And again, I just literally was ready to quit the business. And one night, out of frustration, I sat back, I relaxed, I got out a notepad, a pen, and a piece of paper, and I started writing down, what do I actually need to do in order to be successful? And I had seen something earlier called the power of one. And I'd also seen something going around that said, would you rather have $1 million right now today, or a penny doubling every day for 1 month? And then if you start doing the math in your head of that penny doubling, you have 1 penny, and then 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. In your first week, you barely even have $1. And then it goes $1.28, 2.56, and goes up. In your first 2 weeks, you only have like $15. And so most people are thinking, man, the time's half up. I only have $15. The $1 million is going to be way more. But as that continues to grow, then in 30 days, you'd have 5 million. 31 days, you have 10 million. And then again, it just gets massive and massive from there. And so what I thought about, I really pulled out that sheet of paper and I started looking at it. And I started thinking, man, could I teach somebody to sign up one person per day and double this thing every day? And I thought, it's not very likely, but I definitely could teach people one per month. And so then I started writing it out, and I noticed something really quickly. In this duplication in this business, it doesn't go 1, 2, it goes 1, 3. Meaning my first month I sign up one person. My second month I sign up another one, but that one signs up one, and so that's 3 people. And then those 3 each sign up one plus mine, that's 7. So we don't go 1, 2, 4, we go 1, 3, 7. It's almost twice as many people. And so then I fast forward, and in 30 months, 2.5 years, if I was able to sign up one person a month and teach them to do the same, my team is around 10 million people. And then I continued that for 3 years, around 640 million people. Barely 3.5 years, I have the entire world's population. And then I started looking and testing some other things. And the business that I was in was a very similar, not a similar compensation plan, but it was a 2-team compensation plan. So you wanted one on the left and one on the right. So then I started looking at, well, what if I just got 2 people and I taught them to get 2, and they taught them to get 2, et cetera, et cetera. What would this look like? And if I just said, okay, in 1 month, let's go ahead and do that. And, in 1 year, you'd be making over 100,000 per month. In 2 years, you have almost the entire world in your downline. And in just over 2.5 years, you do have the entire world in your downline. That's just by getting 2. That's not 2 every month. That's just 2, period. It literally would take 32 months for you to have the entire world, 8 billion people. And so what happened there is the light bulb went off, and I first learned, for the first time ever in my career, I learned that you do not need to be a good marketer in order to make unlimited money and build a bigger business than has ever been built in the history of network marketing. What you need is you need to be able to duplicate, and then what goes hand in hand with the duplication is retention. You want to duplicate, and obviously you need them to stay in the business. And so for duplication, I figured out an exact formula. Build a list, cultivate the list, present the business to the list, and then that's the sales process. As somebody joins, you onboard them and you teach them the same thing. Retention, I found that there's 5 reasons. I wrote these down, again, back in 1995, 30 years ago. I wrote these down in my notebook. Why would somebody stay and order the product month after month? First, they love the product. Second, they're retailing the product, so they're not even using it, but they're making money on it, so they're going to continue to order it to sell it. 3, they're making profit in the business. They're building a team, they're making profit. 4, they're on auto ship and they just haven't, remembered to cancel yet. Or 5, they're being trained and mentored. They like the culture. They like being with people that believe in them. They like to feel some hope that some changes can happen in their life. And so they just like participating with people that think the same way and support them and want the best for them. And so those are really the 5 things that I saw in order to keep people in the business, in order to maintain as much retention as you possibly can. And so I started to think, well, what can I do if I know these 5 things? What do I need to do in order to have the best retention of any network marketer? And my degrees in psychology, I studied the most placebo and anti-placebo. And so I learned how powerful the human brain is and what we're capable of. And it is literally mind-blowing. I can absolutely guarantee you that your mind and your thought process has way more to do with the product works than any of the ingredients in the product. I just saw study after study after study. It is mind blowing. If you ever want to see how amazing you are as a human being, go start studying a little bit placebo and anti-placebo, and you'll start to see what you're capable of with just using your mind and your beliefs. So with that being, every single person that I sponsored, I wanted to get exactly what their expectations were and what they wanted from this product, and take the product with exact expectations. It's one of the reasons that testimonial groups work so well. When somebody sees this product working for dozens or hundreds or thousands of other people, they pretty much are confident that it's going to work. And then guess what? The product does work better. The better the marketing is, the better the product. Retailing the product. I was always able to be a top 10 or 15 retailer in every business that I was in with never trying to retail. And all I did was, if somebody decided not to join the business with me, I just asked them if they would like to at least be a customer. And then I would break it down into typically a 3-day, a 1 week, or a 1 month supply. This one you can't really break down, so they're going to get a 1 bottle or 2 bottles or 3 bottles. But again, you don't have to go that hard to get customers. Customers are going to come to you through these 5 steps. I'll explain to you who I would go for as customers. Again, making a profit by building the team. That's really just focusing on the training, focusing on following the system. Getting people on auto ship is going to get you typically 1 or 2 extra months to work with them in order to get them in profit, to get them plugged in. And then again, creating that culture. That means having team calls, doing team events, doing team contests, doing different things for your team so that they feel like they're part of something. We're going to do as much as we possibly can to create that culture as a company. But if you want to focus on having the best retention, then you also want to be doing some things for your team and creating that culture, and just, welcome people, make friends. And some of the best friends I've had have come from this industry focused on, meetings and culture and training and brainstorming and different things like that. So now we're going to get into these 5 steps. I'm going to go through these steps a little bit faster than normal, just because it literally is pretty much all copy and paste. Step number 1, and everything that we do with our system has an exact assignment with a due date, and then we have accountability with that. So the assignment on this is literally within your first couple hours. Make a list of 25 people that you want to work with. Now, what I do with this, and we'll have different invites that you can send them, but I typically ask them 2 questions. I've had more success taking an indirect approach than taking a direct approach, meaning I'm not necessarily trying to sell them anything or get them to join anything. I'm going to ask them 2 questions. And again, these are people that I would like to work with. The first question: do you know anybody that has been on any GLP-1 product, any weight loss shots or weight loss injections? Anybody who's either tried it or is interested in trying it? And those are people that could easily be customers. So again, I'm going to get the customers, no problem. The second thing: do you know anybody that's looking to make some extra money? We have a massive opportunity with bringing a brand new patented product to market with a system done for you with the latest AI technology, so everybody can be successful, even if they have never marketed, don't like to sell or anything like that. We have an entire turnkey system that we can teach people how to make unlimited income with their cell phone. Do you know anybody that's looking to make extra income? So again, it could be any variation of different questions, but we basically are just going to reach out and ask these 25 people that we would like to work with a couple questions, get some referrals, and see where it goes. If none of them join, you still are going to be successful by following the other steps. This gives you the ability to build faster than the other ways. The other ways are going to take a couple months to really get things going, and I'll explain that in detail here. But step 1 is very important, and it's really the only time that I'm going to recommend that people go and talk to friends and family or different things like that, I would recommend of this list, I would put as many of them as I know that are network marketers as possible. Because what I learned, and again, this is something that really changed um, my strategy. And I truly believe if I didn't change my strategy, I would not have become successful. I learned to move the odds in my favor. So let me explain that really quick. I move the odds in my favor because instead of talking to just everyday people and finding out that a good share of them have a negative perception of network marketing, and would maybe say, oh, is that a pyramid scheme, or it sounds a scam, or this, or I'm not a salesperson, or all of those types of things. I found out that usually 7 or 8 out of 10 people that I talked to had a negative perception, and then I had to try and figure out how to overcome that. So I'm starting off with the odds stacked against me. And then I figured out how to turn those odds, and I started only prospecting other network marketers. I know that can sound kind of weird, but it eliminated, I never again had anybody ask me a question about, is this a pyramid scheme? Never had anybody say, oh, I heard that's a scam. Never had anybody say that, oh, I don't like sales, I don't like marketing, I don't, any of these things. And here's what I knew about network marketers and still know to this day. Most of them are not making money. And here's where the power comes in. I know exactly why they're not making money. So if you know that 90% of the people aren't making money, you know exactly why they're not making money, and you can help them make money, that's a very powerful position to be in. And so when I started focusing on that, I literally changed the odds and put them in my favor and started to have massive success. I didn't work harder. I just had a different strategy. So step 2 through 5 all work together. And it's kind of like building blocks. You have to do all of them in order to have the best chance of success. And I'll do my best to explain why. So step 2 is going to be very simple. Because we have the AI already done, pre-programmed the entire campaign for Origin built in for you. Step 2, all you're going to do is link your Instagram to Closer. Again, no extra charge. I would recommend also sharing all of those posts to Facebook and TikTok to get a larger reach. And you can expand way more. This is the minimum. This isn't the maximum. There's other things that will train, other things that you can do, but just doing this is going to make a massive change. This will be posting, 3 times per day, 7 days per week. It'll be following up with 100% of the people that like the post, comment on the post, and it really starts the beginning of all of our strategies. Now, step 3 is going to be also a social media strategy, but it's going to be your stories. And again, Instagram stories, TikTok stories, Facebook stories are all going to work the same way. There's going to be 2 steps here. The first step is every single person is going to be posting 15 to 20 stories a day, doing something with Origin. And there's going to be a mix of things. Every month when you get your product, you should do an unboxing video and post that in your stories. Every day when you use the product, you should post it in your stories. And at least every week, you should share a testimonial on the product in your stories. In addition to that, any team training, a training like this, everybody should be screenshotting this, sharing it on their stories, putting some good music to it, sharing your link on your story. Any meeting, whether it's a lunch meeting, one-on-one, a home party, a home meeting, a hotel meeting, incentive trip, whatever it is, anything to do with the company that you're participating in, you should be taking a quick picture. It literally takes a minute and sharing it as a story, put some music to it. And all these stories, so whether it's your unboxing, you using the product, a testimonial, a training call, an opportunity call, a hotel meeting, any of these you need to tag. This is everybody working together as a team. You need to tag at Origin 1111. Then what we are going to do for you, this is not a corporate site. This is simply to make step 3 possible for everybody. What we're going to do is we're going to take all these stories that you tag us in, we're going to turn them into posts on the Instagram page of Origin 1111. Now those posts you can share in your stories. So what this is going to do, it's going to create the perception, not even the perception, it's going to let people know what's going on in the company. Because there's way more than just you getting the product every month. There's thousands or tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people getting the product every month. There's way more than just you using the product every day. There's way more than just you having a testimonial. There's way more than just you on this training call or other training calls and stuff like that. And so this is just letting people know that this is a worldwide movement. You have things happening. Now, if you're posting step 2, 3 times plus per day on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And then step 3, you're sharing 15 to 20 stories per day. This is going to make step 4 and step 5 really produce massive results for your business. So now when we go to step 3, it is, step 4, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be following a minimum of 3 network marketers a day on Instagram. You can do it on TikTok or whatever. I recommend doing it on all of them, but we're just going to be talking about Instagram right now. The same things for Instagram would be Facebook, would be TikTok, would be LinkedIn, whatever social medias that you're using and being active on. You can do it on one of them. You can do it on all of them. Now, how do we find network marketers? Very easy. Go to any network marketing company, and the people that like and comment on those pages are typically network marketers. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow 3 networkers. Not going to invite them to look at Origin or anything like that. All we're going to do is follow them. We're going to like and comment on at least 5 or 10 of their posts. Why? Because Instagram and Facebook and all those send out notifications. So they're going to get a notification once you follow them. They're going to get a notification on every post that you like. They're also going to get a notification on every post that you made a comment on. And what's going to happen is a certain percentage of them, I don't know if it's 10% or 80%, is going to wonder, who is this person? They're going to click on your profile. Now, what are they going to see? They're going to see step 2 and 3 going. They're going to see 3 posts a day, things going on. They're going to click on your stories. They're going to see people from all over the world using the product, meetings, events, all of those types of things every single day. They're going to have the perception that, wow, this guy's got something going on. And remember, these are all network marketers. They already know how network marketing works. And as you continue to do this, your first couple of weeks, that's why I said the steps 2 through 5 are going to take a little bit of time. But even if we just fast forward 2 months, in 2 months, you're going to have a couple hundred posts. And every day you're going to be sharing 15 or 20 stories. So by the 3rd month, when you're following those 3 people and they're clicking on your profile, you have things happening. And here's what I can also assure you. This is probably going to be very interesting for a lot of you. The light bulb is eventually going to go off as you're posting and you have your stories and you have people reaching out to you, asking you about the company, asking you about the product instead of you reaching out to them. And the light bulb is going to go off and you're going to start to notice things on all of these network marketers' pages. I already know 90% of them are making no money. But what you're going to know, that light bulb is going to go off and you're going to know exactly why they're not making any money. They're doing a horrible job of marketing. And they're going to see that you're doing a great job of marketing. They're going to notice a massive difference. Now, as you're doing this, you're going to, the first day, you're going to like and comment on 5 or 10 posts. Then you're going to go and check every day to see if they have posted again. And if they have, you're going to like and comment on every post that they do. So you're looking at starting off with 3 people, then the next day is 6, and then all the way up to day 30, there's 90 people that you're checking their Instagram account and seeing what's going on. Now, typically, this is only going to take maybe 30 or 40 minutes, even to go through 90, because most of them are not posting even once a week. And then they're wondering why nothing's happening. They're getting no exposures. They have no system. They have no strategy. Probably 95% of them are still working the system where the odds are stacked completely against them. They're not working the system that the odds are in their favor. And that's literally what we're able to do. So this will get you 90 prospects per month. that you're adding on and you're cultivating. How are you cultivating? By liking and commenting. Now, as soon as that first month is up, we go to step 5. So after you've been cultivating your prospect for 30 days, if they have not already reached out to you, which many of them will, you're now going to send your first invite. We have many invites that you can copy and paste. A week later, your second invite. A week later, your third invite. And a week later, which would be approximately 60 days, your fourth and final invite if they haven't already joined with you or are looking at things as a brand partner or as a customer. And then if no action is happening, you unfollow that person. And basically every 60 days, you're going to be working with about 180 prospects. And after doing this for a short period of time, you're always going to have people reaching out to you, asking questions, joining the business. I do not think you'll have any months ever that you don't sponsor people every single month. And we've already gone through that. If you sponsor one person a month and teach them to do the same thing, you're literally only 1 year from going from 0 to 100,000 a month. Within 2 years, you're making probably well over $1 million per month. 2.5 years, you have maybe the largest downline that's ever been built in the history of network marketing. The people that follow the system will be successful. The people that don't follow the system are leaving it up to luck. Maybe 1 or 2% will be successful. The good news is you can decide if you want to be that 1 or 2%, but the last thing I'm going to cover here before we close right at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, is what happens if somebody does request information. We keep this super, super, super simple. And this is why I said you don't have to be a good salesperson, a good communicator. You're not going to answer any questions on the product. You're not going to answer any questions on the comp plan. You're not going to answer any questions on the business. We're going to let the simple tools and system do all of that. You're simply going to ask them 3 questions. First question, if you could write your own check, what would it be? If you paid yourself every month, and it could be any number, how much would you pay yourself? Let's say they say $25,000. I'd say fantastic. If I can show you how to make that $25,000 per month, would you want to do it the hard way or the simplest way possible? Almost everybody's going to say simple. If they say the hard way, say, no problem. I just want to cut the conversation off right here. I don't work with anybody that wants to do it the hard way. I wish you the best, but it doesn't look like this is a match for you. Last question I'm going to ask. If you had an exact system to follow, where we gave you exact assignments, exact due dates, and I'm going to work with you to make sure that you do them, it's never going to take more than 2 hours per day, would you follow the system? I've asked literally, in my 30 years, I've asked tens of thousands of people this. I already know what they're going to say. They're going to say, yes, I'd follow the system. They're going to give you an amount. Typically, it's going to be thousands of dollars per month to hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. They're all going to say the easy way. Why do I ask these questions? Why is this so important? Because when I know the amount of money that they need that they're looking to earn, and then I see that they're not following the system, they're not doing any of the things, I can remind them. Hey, Joe, you told me you wanted to make $25,000 a month. You said you wanted to do it the easy way. You said you wanted to that you would follow the exact system. You're not doing any of that. Let's not let this opportunity pass us by. We have the latest AI technology. We have the hottest product that there is. Let's get started. Here's the first step. Let's go ahead and do it right now. I'll help you. They can make a list of 25 people literally in a matter of 10 or 15 minutes. Grab your phone and make a list of 25 people. Go to Instagram, make a list of 25 people. Doesn't take any time at all. Send them these invites. Ask them these 2 questions. Step number 2, link up your Instagram. If you don't have an Instagram, let's take 5 minutes and set one up. And then let's link it up to Closer. That's going to take less, even if you have no Instagram, it's going to take less than 10 minutes. Step number 3, start posting. That's going to take maybe 1 or 2 minutes per day. Part of step 3, go to Origin 1111 and start sharing those posts on your stories from people all over the world. That's going to create the perception that you have something happening. Step 4, you're going to start following 3 network marketers a day. That's simple. Step 5, after 30 days, you're going to send them an invite. That's the entire system. Every single person can do it. And again, I've used very similar systems to this to Every company I've ever joined as a distributor, I've ended up in the top 10 distributors within my first year, even if it was a 15 or 20-year-old company. I know zero people in my 30-year career that's followed this system exactly and hasn't created a 6 or 7-figure income within 2 years. I don't even know one person in 30 years. I know a bunch of people that said they had followed the system and didn't follow the system, but there's nothing we can do there. But if you've been looking for that chance to live life on your terms and you wanted a hot product that billions of people are looking for at a much lower cost with all the same studies and everything like that, you want a marketing system that's proven, and then you want to use the latest AI technology so that it's taking 1 or 2 hours per day instead of 5 or 6 hours per day. I used to tell people part-time, if I could show you how to make that $25,000 a month part-time, would you want to do it the easy way or the hard way? Now I say spare time. It's not even part-time. With the technology and everything that we have, it literally is just spare time. So again, hopefully this has got you a decent view of what you would be doing on a daily basis, that you understand that it literally is no more than 1 or 2 hours per day that you put into the entire business. I want to thank you for your time. We're doing the same thing all the way up until the 26th. Opportunity and then training, opportunity and training. The training is always going to be the same. There's nothing more to it. A lot of times people, want to participate in all these trainings, and I'm like, training is really almost not necessary, because I can go through everything that you're ever going to need to do to be a top income earner in 30 minutes or so. The only thing you got to decide is that, are you going to be one that actually does it? If so, let's prove it right now by pulling out your phone, taking a quick picture, sharing it as a story, tagging Origin 1111. It'll literally take you 1 minute to do it. And that's just these little baby steps to get into the habits. And one of my favorite books is Jeff Olson's The Slight Edge. And so much of success is just having that slight edge, doing just things a little bit different strategy. In fact, if you do it correctly, you will not work nearly as hard as the people that are not making money. It's very ironic. You can make way more money by working not nearly as hard as the people that are out there grinding, because most of them, again, are working with the odds against them. Most of the people that they're talking to have a negative perception about the industry, and so they're starting off backwards or starting off in the hole, where they have to overcome all these objections before they even get them started. Just start with network marketers. You'll never have any of those objections, ever. And we already know most of them aren't making money. We know exactly why they're not making money. And we're the company with the system, with the tools, and the training that they can make money with. So again, let's do this the easy way. Let's do this together as a team. Last thing I'm going to say, every single company site that Origin has, you need to be following it, and you need to comment and like every single post that happens. Every single one of the people that you personally sponsor, you need to follow them on all the social medias that they're focused on, and you need to like and comment on every post that they do. These are things that are going to take maybe 10 to 15 minutes per day, but it gets everybody working together as a team, and it gets not only the company's algorithm working for them, but it gets each and every one of the distributors algorithm working, so that Instagram is willing to share us with the 2 billion people that have an active Instagram account. If you're not posting every day, if your posts aren't consistent, they're not going to share you with very many people. Why would they? If you're not getting interaction and you're not interacting with people, they're not going to do much to put you out into in front of those 2 billion people. But if we're all working together as a team, every time the company posts something, you like it, you comment. Every time somebody that you personally sponsor posts, you like and you comment. And then we share as many as you can. Share them on your stories. These are all things that Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and everybody looks for to decide what information they promote. So again, hopefully this gives you guys a kind of a clear picture. Maybe you learned some things. And again, I can't wait to be sending out these weekly checks that I can see growing week after week, month after month, year after year, and really making a difference in people's lives. So again, thanks everybody. Same time, same place tomorrow, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Opportunity, approximately 30 minutes, and then we'll go straight into the training, approximately 30 minutes. So thanks everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your night.